Hey guys, and welcome back to Utem TV's Friday Mic On. I'm JY and I will be your host for today. So, today we're going to cover a very special topic about our multiracial society. As we all know, Malaysia is actually one of the few countries in the world that is blessed with a multiracial community. And as a Malaysian myself, I couldn't help but wonder our ancestors, they are less educated than us, they encounter more language barriers than us, and they were made to work in different sectors, but still, they managed to live together in harmony. What brought them together? It will all be revealed through some ancient stories and introduction of agronomic practices. So let us welcome the guests that will bring the answers for tonight. Our first guest, we have Huang Cherise from Kelab Kebudayaan Kebangsaan Cina KKKC and Mr. Krishna Ramurugan from Kelab Kebangsaan India KKI. Hi guys, how are you doing today?
We are good.
Good, yes, that's great. That's good to hear. Feeling comfortable during MCO?
Okay, still okay.
That's all we need to hear. Okay, now, I understand that both of you are representatives of your respective cultural clubs. So, Cherise, can you please tell me a bit more about your club?
Okay. Hello, I'm Cerise and I am the representative of Club Kebudayaan dan Kesenian Cina. I am the Director of Planning and Activity. So about this club, it is like an organization which brings together like all of the classes. So we have 8 classes, which is dance crew, 24 festive drums, harmonic choir, sky crescendo, Diablo, Chinese orchestra, Chinese drama team, and lastly is a students guidance team. So in order, if you guys are interested more about all these classes and you are interested in joining, so you can follow us on our Facebook, which is Club Kebudayaan Cina Utem, or our Instagram KKKC Utem for more information and more details about the classes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Cherise. That's so great to hear. KKKC is like a big group hosting small little groups in this body. So, next on, Mr. Krishna, how about your club?
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me first?
Yeah, we hear.
Okay,
you
cool.
sound so nice.
Okay, cool. Okay, KKI stands for Club Kebudayaan India, or we call it as ICS, Indian Cultural Society Utem. So we have few classes going on, such as KKC as well. We have Kabaddi class going on, and we have Silambam class is going on, and we have Urumi class going on as well. Okay, what is this thing? Or what is these three things actually is? Urumi is a type of instrument, traditional instrument, which is played in a group, and Silambam is a type of martial arts. They do things with sticks. They pushing the sticks and all kind of that. Okay, that is Silambam. Okay, that's one of the martial arts, and Kabaddi is a type of game. Everyone knows Kabaddi. What is this Kabaddi is?
Yep, we covered it last week.
Yep. Okay. So we are having that thing as well. And this year, for this session, this semester, we have opened up a new Biro Kehusahawanan. So we are actually focusing more on entrepreneurship and students' welfare. And I hope new things will be coming up soon, and there are a lot of things in planning. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Krishna. So this is more of a personal question. So, Cherise, you are coming from a cultural club. So can you tell me some of your favorite traditional activities? Maybe like everybody loves Kung Fu fighting. Can you please tell me a bit about your personal favorite traditional activities?
Okay, my personal favorite traditional activity is actually Wushu, which is Chinese martial arts, because I find it really cool. I personally don't know, but I like to watch them perform like competitions and stuff. Especially I like when they use the sword. It's really, I can see like really cool really lots of power. So it's really interesting for me.
That's great. That's So I was correct on the song part. Everybody loves kung fu fighting. So you are getting into wushu. It's almost the same. And Krishna, how about you? Tossing
Okay.
dance.
Okay. My favorite activity is actually we call it as Varma Kalai. Something called Varma Kalai. It's kind of martial art as well, but we don't use any kind of any kind of weaponaries or something to handle the fights in the martial arts. We actually use our fingers, both fingers.
Fingers.
So yes, so it's kind of same like acupuncture or acupressure. So you touch the weakest point of the body, and the opponent will be dismantled.
Oh
So
wow.
it's a very interesting martial art, and it's not very famous in our country, and most of the Asian countries as well. It's mostly practiced in Western countries.
So it's a bit like you watch Naruto. It's a bit like the Byakugan family
Yes, correct.
where they puncture your chakra points.
Chakra points, yeah, correct.
Okay, so thank you for the questions. And now let's get to the part where everybody's waiting for. Cherise, I understand that you have prepared a few Chinese festival stories for us. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the screen is yours.
Okay. Okay, first I would like to start with a few questions. So, have you ever wondered what are the origins of Chinese festivals? Have you ever wondered why Chinese celebrate each festivals differently? And have you ever wondered what is the story behind them? So, good evening. My name is Huang Director of Activity and Planning of Club Kebudayaan dan Kesenian Cina, KKKC. And today I will be answering these questions that you might be curious about. So I will tell you stories of Chinese New Year, Dragon Boat Festival, and Mid-Autumn Festival. So first, let's start off with what is Chinese New Year? Chinese New Year is also called Lunar New Year, which is Nongli Xingnian, is an annual 15-day for the Chinese festival for the Chinese. The festival's date varies from year to year in between 21st January and 20th February. It is celebrated as it marks the start of a Lunar New Year, which is the start of a new moon. Now, you might ask, why do Chinese wear red color and play fireworks and firecrackers during the Chinese New Year? Well, it all started from a legend 1,000 years ago. A monster named Nian would attack the villagers at the beginning of each new year. So one day, the villagers found out that Nian was actually afraid of loud noises, bright lights, and the color red. So all of these were used every year to scare Nian away. This tradition is then carried on until now. Okay, after talking about Chinese New Year, I would like to talk about Dragon Boat Festival, which is Dragon Boat Festival, Tuan Wu Jie, is also known as Tuan Yang, which means upright sun or double sun. It falls on the fifth lunar month and around the summer solstice, which is actually in the next 2 weeks on the 14th of June 2021. This festival includes dragon boat racing and eating rice dumplings, which is 粽子. So, why is there dragon boat racing? Back then, dragon boat racing is used to appease the river dragons. It became a sport during the Han Dynasty. The boats were long and narrow with prows painted like a dragon's head. Gongs and drums are used to set the pace for the rowers to head towards the finish line. Then, you might ask, why do Chinese eat rice dumplings during this festival? It comes with another story, which it started with a counselor and a patriotic minister called Qi Yuan. And in the midst of turmoil during the warring states, Qi Yuan warned his king about the threat, but his warning was ignored and he was banished from the state. Unable to help, he watched his motherland decline and decided to take his own life by jumping into the river. Then, the people wanted to appease his spirit, so they started throwing triangular rice dumplings, which is 粽子, into the river so that his body will not be eaten by the fishes. Because of this, 粽子then become a part of Dragon Boat Festival until now. Now, last but not least, I would like to talk about the Mid-Autumn Festival. Mid-Autumn Festival or Mooncake Festival, 中秋节, falls on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, which is around September, and the day of the month when the moon is the fullest and the brightest. Back in the day, the festival was used to thank the gods as a post-autumn harvest celebration by worshipping the moon. So, why do we eat mooncakes during this festival? Mooncakes were used by Chinese military leaders to pass messages around back then during the war times. The inside of the mooncake is a single egg yolk, which symbolizes the full moon. The full moon symbolizes completeness and is associated with family reunion. So lastly, what are the fun activities we do during this celebration? The main activity is moon viewing, 赏月. Moon viewing originated from a really cool story. Legends say that thousands of years ago, there were 10 suns in the sky. The suns burned all the plants on the earth and people were dying. One day, a heroic man, Hou Yi, decided to take up the queen's challenge and shoot down 9 suns. He successfully did it, and the queen gave him a bottle of elixir which will make him immortal. As his fame grew, jealous person Pang Meng went to his house and attempted to steal the bottle as Hou Yi wasn't around. Hou Yi's wife, Chang kept the bottle and Pang Meng attempted to snatch it from her. In order to prevent him from getting the immortal drink, Chang then immediately drank the elixir and she started floating. She flew higher and higher, and then legends believe that she flew to the moon and became immortal. Because of this, people started eating under the moon while moon viewing. So the other activities we go are lantern walks. Lantern walking is a way for people to pray that they will have smooth futures and to express their best wishes for their family. It is a walk that can involve everybody, no matter the race. Everybody holding a lantern illuminated by candles and walking under the bright full moon which leads the path. The last activity we do is guessing lantern riddles. The lantern owners write riddles on paper notes and paste them upon colorful lanterns. People crowd around to guess the riddles. After you guess or solve the riddles, if the person think they have the right answer, they can pull the riddle off and go to the lantern owner to check their answer. If the answer is right, they will be rewarded with a prize. So, Mid-Autumn Festival really is an interesting festival that can involve everybody, no matter the gender, the age, or the race. So hopefully, we get to organize this event in Utem after this pandemic is over, so everybody will get to have the joy and the fun of this festival. So this concludes my 3 interesting stories of Chinese festival: Chinese New Year, 农历新年, Dragon Boat Festival, 端午节, and Mid-Autumn Festival, 中秋节. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cherise. Although I'm Chinese myself, but I'm not really familiar with these stories, but they do sound interesting and it sounds amazing, considering only the part thinking about celebrating it with other races. So thank you again, Cherise. And up next, we have Krishna. Krishna, let me tell you, I'm actually a very big fan of evolutions. So I'm dying to hear how the Indian agronomic practices modernized throughout the years. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, then, bro, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Uyi. Okay, first of all, my topic is not kindly coherent to what is called cultures, but it's kind of coherent that I'm going to explain about the evolution of tradition that it was practiced by Indians throughout their generations, which is agriculture. So what is agriculture basically? Agriculture is a way of living. It's a way of bread-winning method that was practiced by people from the Stone Age until now, until the age of globalization. So how does these people actually practiced agriculture during the last centuries, let's say, and this century or this decade? Okay, we all know that technology is kind of gobbling up this world. throughout these years. So if agriculture is done in a conventional way, as people done in Stone Age, do we think that this method or this agriculture field would be beneficial or would be profitable for us? Definitely no. So what is the evolution that agriculture has faced over the years? Smart farming system. So what is this smart farming system, and how does this evolve through the tradition of Indian culture? Okay, in India, agriculture is the sole activity of many of, I mean, the whole, not the whole, maybe 3/4 or 4/6 of the population in India. So most of them are practicing agriculture as their daily breadwinning activity, and people are depending on agriculture. So India has a lot of lands, but they have a very bad land structure and they have very bad resources. So this smart farming system has actually evolved throughout the years to help this kind of, this kind of inhibitors that actually reduce the yield, they reduce the practices of agriculture over the years. So now we all know that now we have hydroponics, we have aquaponics, and so much of modified way of agriculture, and not leaving the fact that smart farming with the involvement of big data. So how does this big data actually helps the agriculture sector? So let's say if we take Thailand for example, the tax spending shot up by over 7% just this year in agriculture due to the government funding. And in Malaysia, in our country, we are having a very high-tech durian scheme. We are actually, if you ever heard of blockchain, I'm not really sure. So we are actually implementing blockchain system in tracking the durian's position in our nation. Because durian is a very, very limited edition fruit that is very, 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 very high in price, and has a very limited resources in our Malaysia. So we're actually using a smart way to track this durian, and we are actually tracking it in a secured manner using blockchains. And so does oil palm. Oil palm, Malaysia is the biggest oil palm distributor in the world. And how does government actually implementing IoT, Internet of Things technology, to maintain and to bring up the outage of oil palm that has to be distributed across the world. So they are using something called AI in tracking the weather management and tracking the environmental factors that affects the oil palm planting and oil palm the yield from the oil palms. So when do you have to plant this oil palm, and when do you have to harvest these oil palms? So they have all these data in their fingertips, and they're actually distributing to the farmers, to the traders, to everyone around the nation, in order for them to know when do I need to pollen these seeds, these oil palm seeds, and when do I need to harvest these things and sell off in the market, in export or something like that. So these things are actually important, and these things are actually significant throughout the generations of agriculture. If you realize, agriculture is a profitable sector still, as we are not doing it in a conventional way. We are actually following the trend, and we are doing agriculture in a modern way. So that's all from my side, and I hope agriculture will survive for a long period of time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Krishna. Well, actually, after listening to your speech, I do hear coherence between your topic and the multiracial society. Because, as you see, as I know, even way before Malaysia got independence in the 1920s, 1930s, almost 65% of Indians are in the agronomical sector. And throughout the years, the improvement in this sector was actually developed by the Indians. So this development actually helped not only Indian crop farmers, and also Chinese crop farmers and Malay crop farmers and other crop farmers from other races. So I think there is still coherence, and I'm very happy, because your topic actually gave me a sense of curiousness, and I'm dying to hear about it. And now I'm satisfied. Thank you so much. So now that we have been amazed by the speeches, it's time for the question from the audience. Okay. Let me look through it. The questions. Okay. This first question is to Mr. Krishna. Where can we see blockchain being demonstrated in Malaysia?
Okay, it's not actually blockchain, it's blockchain.
Oh, blockchain.
Yep, blockchain. Okay. If you are aware of the presence of cryptocurrencies, which is like example Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all kind of things, this is correlated with blockchain technology. Blockchain are used to set transaction IDs of these currencies, basically. So blockchain is similar to something called masking with a high fidelity security. So basically, if you ask a durian farmer or durian person who is doing durian plantation, he will complain to you, or he will tell you sob stories about my durian is getting stolen, my durian is getting hijacked away by a lorry and sold at the roadside at the Genting Sempa and the Kara Highway, like that. So this is a very very serious issues, because most of the durian people that I spoke to, they have all the similar sob stories. They have a sob story called my durian is missing, my durian is being stolen, and my farm is not secure. And this is a very serious issue for government as well, because Malaysia is one of the biggest producer of durians if we equate statistics. And durian doesn't grow in all of the countries. We have to know that. It follows the cuaca, it follows the iklim and all kind of things. So they have to secure the placement of durian. They have to secure the transportation of durian. They have to secure the tagging of durian. They have to, they have to know where the durian goes, who the person selling durian, and who the person holding the most stocks of durian. So they have to mask these informations in blockchain so that normal people or the normal traders would not know this information or would not get leaked by this information. So in this way, they can actually control the movement of durians. That's why they have blockchains.
Oh, wow, that's actually a very complicated yet simple kind of system, very efficient. Yeah. Okay, for Krishna, there's another question. How can we fix the barren land caused by overplanting of oil palm trees?
Come again? I didn't catch you.
How can we fix the barren land caused by overplanting of oil palm trees?
Barren land?
Yeah. I think what she's meaning is after overplanting of oil palm trees, then they'll have to chop down all the oil palm trees. So it will be like a barren land, because after that, the land would not, the soil will be not as fertile as it used to be. Is it?
Okay. So yeah, that's true. If what OE means, it's how, if that question how OE depicts, so I have that answer for that. Okay, if oil palm trees, people usually they use a lot of pesticides, a lot of chemical pesticides and all. So if they chop down all the trees, the soil would still remain acidic. So to overcome this thing, they will use a method called tanah bakar. Tanah bakar means like they'll burn down all the residues after they chop off the trees. Mm-hmm. And mostly like have you heard about padi humor, which is done in Indonesia, which is mostly the main factor for our air pollution index to rise.
I'm okay. Padi what?
Padi humor.
Padi humor.
Yeah. Hardy humor, how they do is they just bakar the whole place and they replant again so that the tanah will be so subur. If you bakar that tanah, it will become subur eventually. So this is one of the practices they use in oil palm, but most of the people use this. But now, since the oil palm trees are having some issues with the export, since we had some clashes between India, so our oil palm, oil palm export and our oil palm export is facing some minor injuries. So for now, we are not like terribly speaking about we need to send this much of palm oil to the other countries. So we don't have that problem yet.
Okay.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah, I hope your question, because for me actually I understand. So I hope your answer actually, makes the girl with the question understand.
Okay.
And well, there's no any other feedback from her, so I think it's done. Okay, thank you, Krishna. Now a question for Cerise. How did you celebrate the festival in pandemic COVID-19?
Well, because of COVID-19, of course, we celebrate differently. So usually before the COVID, we just get together as a big family with aunts and uncles and cousins. So it's like really fun. But due to pandemic, I'm fortunate enough that I was still with my family back then. So I just celebrated with my family and we just had a really good time. Just doing the same thing, but just with a smaller amount of people. That time was Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm. So only for Chinese New Year. What about Dragon Boat Festival is
Dragon Boat Festival is on the way. It's
it's on
the next Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Next Monday.
I got another question for Cherise also from my private message. What is in the elixir that let Chang'e fly to the moon?
Well, nobody told me what is it about, but legend said that it is a bottle that if you drink you will be eternal, so you won't die, so you will just be like a god forever. So legends say that she's above in the moon there watching us, giving us some peace, and yeah, that's the legend.
Yeah, because if you're telling me about a substance that after drinking it you feel like you're flying, the first thing I'll think about is drugs. So, Cerise, another question for you. What does Mandarin orange and ang pao represent? And will I be getting one next year?
Well, first you won't be getting one because ang pao, I can give you Mandarin orange, but ang pao usually is given by married couples. So you will only get ang paos if you are children and you are not married yet. So what does oranges? The Mandarin orange is 吉祥, means prosperity. So it means it brings prosperity to your family. And ang pao is just like a tradition to reward the children and cousins and stuff.
Yeah, usually they give it out saying 恭喜发财.
Yes.
I hope you get rich this year. Then you better hope that I get rich too. Okay, so Cherise, another question. Why do Chinese like being young so much? Yeah, I don't think this is only for Chinese. I think all the races, they also want to be young. But the question has been asked, so Cherise.
Why do Chinese like being young so much? Young as in what age?
Should be. Maybe look young despite the age.
I have no answer. I think young. Everybody wants to be young, especially in appearance. So I don't think it's only a Chinese thing.
The features.
The features of the Chinese.
Why Chinese like being young? The features. Well, this is a very weird question.
Yes.
Because from what I understand, usually all of the races like being young. Everybody wants to be 60 and look like a model.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, okay, should be no questions left. Okay, then. That's all for today, I think. Thank you, Sharice and Krishna. Thank you again for freeing your time and agreeing to join us at our Friday MicCon. I wish both of your clubs well. Good luck on what you're doing and stay safe during this pandemic. Okay? Okay,
No
thank you
problem.
guys.
Thank
Well,
you so
folks,
much. We
thank you. Well, folks, coming up next week, we'll be having student bodies from different faculties in our sharing session. Who are they and what their topics will be? Remember to like, subscribe, and share in order to keep up with our latest news. A big thank you to our audience, and we will see you next week. Capture greatness. Peace out.